welcome back. And I am on the road, as you can tell, and I am driving to the next racetrack for my second Spec Miata race, and I am super pumped. If you've been following along on here or on Instagram, you saw that I did a bunch of work to the Spec Miata the last couple of weeks, actually a couple of days, because we had some failures at the last race. The transmission had a failure, so I got a new transmission over at E Street Racing. It's supposed to be a better, upgraded kind of gearbox, but still follows the Spec Miata rules. And then the guys in the Spec Miata class were all telling me that I needed to get rid of the rear diff. It was the VLSD rear diff, and it was really just not doing me any favors. So I figured, since I've got things apart, I picked up a Cusco two-way differential. It's actually compliant in the rules, got it from Mazda Motorsports, and then I sent it over to X Factor Racing, and they got it all dialed in for me. And if you've paid attention to my Instagram or anything like that, you saw that I got that installed. It also had an issue with like an idling concern, which happened to be, surprisingly enough, a bad battery. The battery had a bad cell in it. I tore everything apart. I took the throttle body out. I took the mass airflow out of the car. I was looking at the idle air control, got that cleaned up, didn't fix anything, and then I was like, what in the world could this be? And I checked the battery, and sure enough, the battery had a bad cell, causing all these issues. But got a new battery in there, and now we are set to go. So we are headed out to Podium Club. I've actually only been here one other time, and the configuration that we're running, I've actually never ran at all. So it's going to be a new car, a new track, and my second Spec Miata race. Now, I think this is going to be a blast. I can't wait. And yeah, we're about 5 minutes away. I get this thing unloaded. It is a practice day, so I might be able to get a couple of laps in today to kind of get my feet wet and make sure the car does good, because I whip it around in the parking lot a couple of times and it felt okay, so I decided to send it. We'll see how this goes. So hopefully I get a couple of laps today so I can at least just make sure the car is going to run all right and be prepared for practice, qualifying, and race tomorrow. So with that being said, let's go. We are out here in Nowhere, Arizona. And we go down this little path, this little road, and it takes us to a racetrack, which is kind of cool. Looks like they already got some people out there. It's really important to me to try to get to the racetrack early because I want to film for you guys, and sometimes it's difficult if there's a lot of people in the paddock. So I got here a day early, definitely do the practice day, but also to get a good spot so I can film and yeah, be able to post a video. The last video I did about Spec Miata race, you guys absolutely loved it, and thank you so much for watching. And that really made my day, because I just picked up this little car and I decided to go start racing it. And I didn't know how it would actually go and if you guys would actually think it was cool. But you guys asked for more and wanted more videos about Spec Miata racing. We are going to be doing just exactly that this weekend, as long as the car holds together and doesn't have any problems.
Whatever you can find around. Hi, Spec Miata Sally. What's going on, girl?
You're on camera.
I know. That's why I changed my thing here. I gotta do it.
You gotta be cool.
I'm gonna do another opening. Hey, it's Spec Miata Sally. What's going on? Robert Toes here, checking in with you. So there's open spots. I think just the world is your oyster, girl. You
all
pick
right.
Whatever you want. Just get in cozy with some of the gang here, and
yeah. Ah! Got it. Got that new sticky race rubber. Okay, so we got everything unloaded. It's all ready to go. I think I do need to put fuel in the car tomorrow. I ran up front to go see if I could get on track for maybe a couple of minutes, and they just checkered the whole track. Day test session is over, so doesn't look like I'm getting any track time today. So, like I said earlier, I've not ran this configuration here at the track. So we're gonna be starting out fresh tomorrow, learning the track. Got a new transmission and a new differential in the car, so I'm pretty much going to be relearning the car. So I hope we get up to speed pretty quickly. I think warm-up practice is 20 minutes and qualifying is 20 minutes. So we're going to use those two as just practice and try to see how fast we can get up to speed. We might be towards the back of the field tomorrow. I don't really know because I'm not sure who's had laps here, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna head home. It's an hour and a half away. I'll be here in the morning to get in the car and test it out. I moved the tint down because I figured that it might blow away if it was really high in the air. So I moved it down since I went home last night. I want the key in the truck. Dang it. Get this thing warmed up. We go out in like 30 minutes. So first session is going out right now. It's HPD 4. And I think we're up next, maybe, I think. Not too long. The sessions are only like 20 or 30 minutes long, so not a whole lot of time. But I wanted to warm up the car, get the fluids, warmed up. And it's pretty chilly here this morning. I think it's like 45 or something like that. It's pretty chilly. So the one thing I'm really gonna have to do is really scrubbing these tires because they're gonna be cold right out of the gate. So that's something that I'm definitely gonna have to do. And just feel out the track. Never done this configuration. It's gonna be a totally new learning curve, especially with the car the way it is now, with the new rear differential and the new transmission. We're learning a new car, so it's gonna be a bunch of new. So we're gonna go out there and give it the best we can, have fun, because that's the most important thing. And yeah, hopefully find some time in the next 35 minutes. Warm-up was 20, qualifying is 15. We got 15 minutes to figure this out and get up to speed. Let's go. had to go on track. My GoPro died, so you're not gonna have any footage of this. But it was everybody. It was big bore, all the Spec Miatas, tons of Porsche Cup cars. It was pretty much insanity out there. The new gearbox is definitely different. I'm used to the old sloppy one, and this one's really tight. A whole group of train of cars like slammed on the brakes in front of me, and I had to lock it up. So I'm pretty sure I flat spotted a tire. So we're gonna check that out. All right, I think this is the one that I locked up and flat spotted, I'm pretty sure. Let's check it out. Man, I wish I would have had my GoPro going for this. Stupid story. I charged it overnight. There should have been no reason why it wasn't charged. It's charging now in the truck, so we'll have footage for the rest of the day. But there should be no reason why it didn't charge. I literally charged it. I plugged it in. It charged for well over 12 hours, and I tried to turn it on, and it wouldn't even turn on. And finally, I plugged it into something. It said 1%. I have no idea why it didn't charge, but it didn't. And honestly, I've had a lot of problems with this GoPro, a GoPro 11. It's like one of the newer ones, and I'm kind of annoyed with it, I'll be honest. So for the sake of me really loving doing these videos, I'm probably gonna be looking for something else. So if you have any ideas of things that I should try, comment down below so I can try them out. Because this is really fun to share this with you guys, and whenever the equipment doesn't work, especially when I try to make sure that it should work and it doesn't, and it doesn't make any sense, frustrating. So anyway, yep, there it is, boys and girls, right there. In front of me stopped super fast, kind of bottlenecked, and I was like, oh crap. I was on the binders, and there we are. So anyway, moving on. No collisions. So that was good. But let's get these on there. Front left, second set. I think we're at a cool like 75 right now. Old tires off. Time for the new ones. I label all my tires. This is the second set I've used on this car, and it's gonna go to the right rear.
Definitely the nicest looking car in the paddock.
Thank you. Don't get too close. It's definitely a 15-footer. faster than that, but you know, in the back of my head, I knew it wasn't going to happen. Let's be honest. Never been here before. We've got new rear differential, which I like. It's good, but it is something that I do need to learn. And so I really knew in the back of my head that it wasn't going to go as well as I was hoping. But with that being said, we're not starting from the back of the pack. We're not starting last. We got some work cut out for us. Now, what I can do is there's been some areas where I know where there's some time on the table. And I'm gonna go find the front running guys and girls and ask them what gear they're in for those corners. Once I figure that out, I think that will eliminate a lot of my problems. Because I feel like over here, I couldn't decide if it was second or third. I tried second, but I felt like it went to, you know, I'd have to shift super fast, but I felt like third was boggy. But maybe if I just didn't shift, it would actually be quicker. So, and then over here, I don't know if I should be like third or fourth in the S section. So I'm gonna go find the top running guys and girls and ask them what they think. I can't really do much about this car being any faster. You know, there are some really nice Spec Miatas here that are clearly just faster in the straights than me. This track has a lot of straights. So if they're fast 1 to 2 mile an hour faster on the straights than me, they're definitely gonna be a lot faster than me and their time's gonna be a lot better. So, but what I can do is focus on myself, find out where I can improve. And then in the race, we got some work to do. Pick some cars off and have some fun. Also, the car is almost out of fuel, so I'm gonna get some Sunoco race fuels and fill up my Spec Miata so we can get it ready for the race. reason why I'm getting off track like this is I don't want to mess up everybody else's race. Not as good as a single drive. Well, I'm here.
That hasn't gone right. Hi, Sally. Yeah. Are you able to come in here and flip around?
No, I don't think so, dude. Have you seen the other side?
Yeah, I know. Your car's doing this.
Oh, I know. Let's go take a look at this. Let's go. I want to see what this looks like.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah. That's the other side that's damaged or anything, but the tie rod's doing this.
Well, that kind of stunk, and it really ruined my race. I literally didn't even get a full lap. But that's what you call a racing incident, and those kind of things happen. That's what happens when you go racing. Close proximity racing, somebody loses control of their vehicle. Unfortunately, things can happen like that. I just happened to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time when he lost control of his Miata, and it hit me. So it happens, but I'm not upset, and that's the risk I take racing, wheel-to-wheel racing. I love it, and I'm okay with that risk. I've already checked. It looks like a bent outer and inner tie rod. I've already checked. It looks like the local O'Reilly's has the parts in stock. So I'm gonna pick that up on the way home. I'm gonna get this car fixed tonight. There's another race tomorrow. So it won't take me very long to change out an inner and outer tie rod, get that changed, and we can be back out here tomorrow to race another day. I ain't even mad. But I did want to touch on the fact that you probably saw that where I pitted out after getting hit, that is something that you want to do all the time when you are on the racetrack in a race, a track day, or whatever. If you have something happen to your car, if you can, don't stop on the track. Don't stop on the side of the track if you can. If you can get the car off the racing surface, you can save your other race car drivers their race, and they can have fun, and you don't run their race for them. So, as you saw, I actually went in the pit out of the racetrack, but that was because I didn't want to mess up anybody else's race. And if I heard and got off the racing surface, they can continue to race, and no one has to stop, no safety cars or anything like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna get this car fixed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, so I'm back at the shop, and I'm gonna try to fix this before tomorrow. As you can tell, we got some toe in, just a little. So I'm gonna take the wheel off and see what's bent. I think that it's the inner and outer tie rod. I also got a lower ball joint because I hear that if those get some damage on them, then you're not gonna have as much camber as you want. So let's take this apart and see what I find. This, not so much. I don't think this is supposed to have a 45-degree angle. O'Reilly's had one part and AutoZone had the other. So I was able to get the outer tie rod and the inner tie rod by going to a couple of part stores. All right, so I'm just gonna throw this away. All right, a lot has happened. Last night, got all the parts taken off, and then I realized that the parts I had gotten from the parts store were not right. The outer tie rod was right, the ball joint was right, but the inner tie rod was wrong and did not fit. I tried to find one that was correct, and nobody in Phoenix, any part stores had the part, no one. I did not sleep at all. I was constantly trying to think of ways where I could get these parts so I could get the car fixed and get back out here today. But big thanks to Chandler over at Downshift Auto Parts. He is your used Miata part connection. He had exactly what I needed, and he left it outside of his shop for me to come pick it up. And what a dude. Thanks Chandler. Big thanks. Car is back to good, ready to go. Big thanks to Marcos also. He stepped up and made sure that the car got done and getting me to the racetrack because I was so stressed out and trying to find these parts and running around. I've eaten nothing today. I've had some water and some Red Bull, and I'm feeling good. So I have to be on grid at 11:30. It is currently 11:03. We're about 5 minutes from the racetrack. We might make this. Finally made it. I'm so pumped after all the heartache I've gone through since yesterday. Thought I had the parts, ended up being the wrong parts, couldn't find them in town. Places said they had them, but they couldn't find them. It was just awful. It was just absolutely a nightmare. And then finally my friend Chandler coming through at the last minute. Thank you, Chandler, at Downshift Auto Parts. Had everything that I needed, got the car thrown together, got it on the trailer, got here, you know, a couple of minutes before qualifying, made it to grid, qualified. The only problem was that my alignment was so off, so bad. It was like towed out in the front and then on one side and toe in on the other side in the front. It drove terrible. I came off track and it's like, why does this thing drive so bad? And it's because the alignment was so awful. But luckily we had a really nice team over there who let me borrow some toe plates, and my friends, Marcos, Joe, and George all chipped in, got the toe set. We are set to go for the race. We're kind of starting, not all the way in the back, but pretty far back in the pack. But honestly, for all that I've gone through in the last couple of days, we made it to qualifying and we're gonna make it to race 2. I'm pumped. So it can only go from here, right? So I'm gonna go out there, see about if I can go out there and have some really cool fun battles with people and just have a good time, because let's be honest, this weekend has been tiring. So I'm gonna go out and watch my friends Joe and George. Joe brought out his S13 coupe, which is like a drift car, but he put a grip setup on it and it looks so good. He just got it running, just put a brand new engine in it, and it sounds amazing, it looks amazing. And we're gonna go see them all hit the track, and yeah. And then after that, it's my race. Let's go.
Been rubbing and it's starting to delaminate the metal. It has like a very light afterlife. Like it's
We made it all the way to the end. I will say that my GoPro shut off. I'm not happy with GoPro and the performance because I charged it the whole way here. It was at 100%, and all I did was 10 minutes of qualifying and a 30-minute race, and it can't stay on. So I'm sorry about the footage. I have a 512 gigabyte card, so it has plenty of memory, but the camera just can't stay on. I did kind of, while the safety yellow flag was going on, I looked and tried to turn it back on, and the battery died in such a short amount of time. So I'm sorry that if there's not a whole lot of racing footage, it shut off. But I hope that we got at least the start and the first couple of laps, because we had some really good battles. It was really fun. Throwing it in there, dicing it up, had some bump drafting going, a really fun time. So I hope that was captured. But racing's like that. You have your ups and your downs, you have good weekends, you have bad. The first Spec Miata race I did was fantastic over at Arizona Motorsports Park. I come to Podium Club here, not so much. So, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. You're gonna have good ones, you're gonna have bad ones. This wasn't the greatest, but the next race will come back stronger. I think that's either here again or at Chuckwalla. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna be prepared. We have a new engine coming for this. Get rid of this junkyard motor that we have in this car, this junkyard engine that's slow. And we're gonna be getting an X-Factor 1.6, and hopefully we'll be a little quicker next time. The car is going on the trailer in its own power, and to me, that's a win. So all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.